They laid me off. Then a few weeks later, I was hired back as a contractor. Different signature on the check. Same exact seat, same exact everything, same exact team. That's what I think about every single day now. Wasn't good enough to keep, but too important to let go. If that makes any sense, it doesn't. And sorry, not feeling it today and being in front of the camera this morning, having a bad hair day. Nah, just joking, but I'm having a bad traffic day because this guy doesn't want to get merge over, but whatever. But yeah, headed in to the same job that I was let go from. Different badge, different signature on the check. Well, not really a check anymore. That's all. It's all digital, but whatever, you get what I'm saying. But literally going to do the same exact thing. I don't understand it. The isolation, the just uneasy feeling, that's what I get every day. And that's what I got to deal with. Never thought that I'd be going through this. They said, oh, tech is pretty much very stable and yada, yada, yada. It's great to be in. Sorry for that bright light. But no. It is not. That sun is striking today. I mean, tech seems like to be the most volatile industry right now. So many layoffs, so many. Huge corporate, everything. Small businesses. The big ones, it's just like I don't even know what to say. But it's just like, every day it's a new feeling of isolation and loneliness and that feeling of, will it happen again? I could probably talk about this every day for the rest of my life because that's just how impactful this has been. Not knowing, not understanding. I mean, I've said this before, I do understand of the business aspect of it all. I do. The algorithm that probably decided on who all was going to be released. Also, I don't know if I understand that. I would have probably done it a little bit more extensively, but maybe they needed to get rid of some of the larger paychecks. I don't know. I'm not saying I was a large paycheck. I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is some of the people that were released did, I'm assuming, make some pretty decent money. But it's not even about the money. It's about the feeling of pride and joy and just being happy with where you're at and a good company to work for. And then all of this comes like the hammer's being brought down, and you just, everything else doesn't matter anymore. That uneasy feeling you get in your gut just because like you're like, all right, well, I mean nothing. I'm just a number on a spreadsheet, and that's it. That's kind of how I feel. Not when I started. I mean, I literally thought I think I said it to somebody or to multiple people when I got this job. I was like, you know, this is it. This is my last job. Granted, I know that people in the tech world bounce around and stuff like that. You know, every couple of years they go to new places, but you know, from where I got hired on, and I was like, all right, this seems like a legit company, and you know, it's gonna be, the benefits are good and all that, and why go anywhere else? Just because I get, you know, a few dollars more, but stability and having that, you know, just that sense of pride of going into a place that you're actually proud to work for. You know, you can actually say, yeah, I work for so and so. But now, with all this, I mean, it's just like, you know, I have seen it, and like the dynamic and mood of the office and all the people is just horrible. Like, it is horrible. Everybody's feeling it. Even the people that were not released, they're feeling it. They're like, when are we gonna get nixed? You know, when it's not a good feeling. And I mean, I know all companies and whatnot, they're looking for bottom line numbers, you know. But when do numbers actually not mean as much and actually have a good core, you know, teams, all that stuff around? I mean, you get that initial like bump of profits and whatnot, but think of the long-term issues that come with this kind of stuff. For all companies, all the people that do this stuff, think about the long-term. I mean, so you release 100 people, let's say, all right? You're saving all those benefits, the salaries, etc. So that's good for, you know, immediate. That's immediate gains, okay? But then you think of the long term. So let's say you bring on a third party. They don't know these applications. They don't know the dynamic of the company. So they have to learn. So there's a learning curve right there, right off the bat. So we're talking really highly intelligent people that are been kind of in the industry for a while. It's pretty quick, maybe a month, maybe 2 months. But very niche companies, you're talking 3, 6, 12 months of that knowledge gap. Okay? So what's happening? Production is lower. Mental stability is lower. Just the overall dynamic of the whole teams and structure of, your tech, IT, whatever you want to call it, it's gone. It's gone. You build relationships, you build these core things that, help, if you're in a team, a group, whatever you want to call it, and you get this dynamic between each other that you can bounce ideas back and forth, and you collaborate, and you do all this stuff, and you don't have to necessarily be in an office to do that, and then you lose all of that. And that's what doesn't make sense to me. I understand getting that little bit of profit at the very end, but the long-term effects are to me are the biggest red flags and whatnot to all this, because I don't feel like it's longevity is lost with this type of move. And in that sense, I think that's not a great business move. Not to mention the fact that you think about all the people, you're bringing in a third party that probably have more, we'll say, resources. Not necessarily ones that are ideal for particular teams and groups and whatnot, but you have those extra bodies, we'll say, okay? So then what happens? The team that's still left around, still having to do a lot of the work, they're stressed out even more. And it's just a slow burn of just craziness, and it's just really difficult to grasp all of this. And then the uneasy feeling for everybody. That's the biggest thing. The people that are still around on the original company, yes, they are feeling it too. They are worried. They are worried for the next cut. And it's probably coming. Okay? So then they're worried about it. They see that it's not about your benefit to the company. You're just a number. Okay? So then we have that going on. And then we have, the third party where I'm at. Okay? And I'm feeling that because they are also a company that also worries about the bottom line. Okay? So different areas can pay differently, and they can get, I would say, how can I phrase this? I wouldn't say more bang for the buck, but they can just get discounted people Okay? So would you want to, let's say you're going to a grocery store versus not a grocery store, let's say a department store versus a thrift store, okay? Department store, you're going to pay top prices for certain items, right? You go to a thrift store, you can kind of get the same items for really cheap. Are they as quality as the ones that are at a department store? Probably not. They're used. They're whatever you want to call it. This might be a bad analogy, and I apologize if that's, I'm just off the top of my head, that's what I'm thinking. But I'm just saying that you could probably, for instance, let's say you hire somebody in California, the cost is more because the cost of living is higher, right? Versus some podunk town in, I don't know, wherever the cost of living is nothing. You can get it a little cheaper, right? So that's what I feel like that could be happening with this third-party vendor. They're worried about the bottom line too, because they're a business, they're trying to make profit. So where is that fine line of productivity, and cost, and again, I get all of the business aspects of everything, but the problem is that there's so many people out there that need jobs. And when you're taking away those opportunities with third-party vendors, you hamstring all these people that are actively looking and that put the money into going to school and trying to pay off debt and having a life. And what about us? It's going to take me 3 hours to get in the, I swear. I should have just not gone in today. So yeah, that's where we're at right now. Sorry for the long rant, but I mean, it's scary. Every day is a new struggle of where you fit into all this. And I never felt this way when it came to restaurants. Never. Because you kick butt, it gets known, okay? And you are praised for it in most aspects, okay? But not here. Not in corporate tech. You are just another line item that could easily be erased. And I'm not gonna lie, it sucks. I know I'm not the only one out there that feels this way, because that's impossible. I know for a fact that there's got to be other people that feel the exact same way, and have done honestly have gone through the same exact ups and downs, and this feeling of just emptiness and loneliness and scared, and every emotional feeling that you can feel, it's there. It is there. And, you know, I really, really thought that me busting my butt would at least hold a placement for my job. Granted, when I started, I didn't think that it was going to be like this. I didn't think that they were going to do mass layoffs and do all this stuff. And, you know, I had a great career in the hospitality industry. Great career. And with the beckoning of my family, of going back to school and whatnot, I did it. You know, I went back to school. I got the degree. I busted my butt for that. And now, every single day, I wonder. You know, I second guess, third guess, fourth guess, every decision I made. Is it great to have a degree? Yeah, it's great. But what has that gotten me? A feeling of crap every day, of wondering what's going to happen next. There's no stability. There's no nothing. Like I was raised differently, and I really, you know, I think that things have changed a lot, you know, in the recent decades. But I was raised differently, and it was all about you put in the hard work, you put in the time. You know, you're first in, you're last out. You volunteer. You do all of this stuff to build up your, I guess you say, build up your bank of just your core bank of this guy's reliable, this guy goes above and beyond, this guy works really hard. He is, if we need anything, we can rely on him. It may not be the best. It may not be the best, right? But he tries. He shows up. He doesn't complain. And this is where we're at. Now it's like that does not matter anymore. Hard work and loyalty and drive, it's dead in the water. Hospitality industry is a beast, okay? Mentally, physically, emotionally, monetarily, it is a beast. Long hours, crazy schedules, you know, you work on weekends, late nights, holidays, you miss out on a lot of things. You know, you don't have that Monday through Friday mess. It is a 7 days a week kind of deal. It really is. You know, but when you're off, for the most part, you're off, okay? And in tech, it's like you're 24/7 on. Even if you have a big group of people that you're working with on the same group or team or whatever you want to call it, you're still kind of on. Because if you are even though the hard work and the reliability and just the willing to go the extra mile, even though it's not really praised per se, or it doesn't really matter these days, because it really doesn't. You know, you're kind of almost used up and used and, you know, taken advantage of. You know, so if you're that person that's like, all right, yeah, I'll help out, or whatever you need, I'm here. Yeah, I'll answer the call at 3 o'clock in the morning and whatnot, and That's gone. Oh, sorry. I was watching the traffic. It's not gone. What I'm saying is that, let me rephrase all this because I guess I'm a little bit brain fog. I need more coffee. You're used and abused, and then you're tossed away when you're done. When you're no longer valuable to them, or if the algorithm says we don't need this person. Okay, that's how it feels in tech. You're just discarded. And that's how I feel every day. Every day. But I can't be that guy that is like, all right, they don't care, I don't care. I'm not that guy. I'm not. I care. Too much, probably, to a certain extent. You know, I take pride in my work. I take pride in helping others. I take pride in, being the guy that is reliable and a necessary cog. And, when you get kind of just hosed like this, it's like, well, some people can just turn it off. I don't know if I would say I'm, I guess I kind of respect that, because if, we're a number, then you're a paycheck, right? That's all you are. So I'm not going to do the extra mile stuff and whatnot. I'm not going to answer my phone at 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm supposed to be 9 to 5 or whatever, 8 to 6 or whatever is 8 or 9 hours. That's all I'm doing. Some people can just do that. I unfortunately cannot. Come on, little fella. Don't be scared. There you go. So this video is a little bit longer than, this shows the struggle of the actual drive, That's why I like leaving early in the morning. But I had some things to do this morning before I went in. And I was actually supposed to go to the doctor today, but whatever. So where are we at with all this? Where do we go from here? As a whole, everybody in the industry, everybody's feeling it. There's not a single, unless you are just like the mecca of all meccas when it comes to coding and all that, everybody's kind of feeling it. Everybody's seen it. I don't know any big corporations also haven't looked into it, so I'm just guessing. But everybody's feeling it. Everybody. Even the people that are still around and the places that are, letting people go, they're still feeling it. Because they're like, wow, Joe Schmo over there that I've been working with for the past 10 years, they just let him go. Or I've been working 25 years and I got let go. And I know people that it's happened to, and it's like, where are we? When did making all these millions and billions of dollars become more important than the people that are making you that money? That's the big question. When does money become so important that people and humanity is just gone? Because I feel like it's gone. Nobody cares anymore about John Doe over there, or Mary, or little Bobby. Nobody cares about it anymore. They care about Benjamin Franklin and all that money. That's all they care about. And stock prices and all this crap. I mean, it's just like, I guarantee it, it's gonna come to fruition soon. Especially with this AI crap that's going on. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy AI. I do. Okay? I even listen to stupid Reddit AI videos all the time. Sue me. Okay? But with all of this stuff, with all the layoffs, with all the, all the BS that is going on in the tech industry, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? Big outages? Because, you're screwing over all these people. They're not going to care. I almost feel like you need to unionize the tech industry. Nobody fights for us. Nobody. Man, it's sunny today. Apologize for the lighting on the video. Like I said, my hair's a mess. My makeup's not done. Just joking, I don't wear makeup. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to feel. I do actually enjoy talking to the camera. It is nice to let out all this stuff that I've been holding in for the past month, year, because this hasn't been going on, since yesterday. This has been happening for quite some time. The job market's horrible. You can't even get a job anymore almost, well, in tech, you can get jobs. Don't get me wrong. But I've talked to people and seen it and read articles and, it is dead. The market is dead. How these other people that have extra servers, if you know what I mean, how they do it, I don't know. Give some, share, spread the wealth, guys, but whatever. But that's what's the biggest core gut-wrenching feeling that I have is not, it's the unknown. It's the what if, or what happens next if this happens, so in restaurants, you lose your job. It's pretty easy to go get another job. It really is. You may not have the same exact title, but you can pretty much get a job anywhere. Because they're actually the opposite of the tech industry. The tech industry has way too many people to pull from. And there's just constant flooding of the market of new, fresh graduates that are highly intelligent and, more power to you. But, in the restaurant industry, no, that's the complete opposite. You can't find any workers, especially people that give a crap, that'll bust their butt and do a good job. And society has done this to everybody. This is what it is, these other places that have, these corporations, these different industries have tainted the mindset of people to where nobody gives a crap anymore about anything except themselves, because that's where we've been forced to do. It's not about, oh, I'm going to bust my butt and help you out and do whatever. It's going to be like, nope, my time says I'm out at 3 o'clock, so I'm out. Peace. That's where we're at right now. That is where we're at. And that is sad. And it's probably going to get a lot worse before it gets better. It's going to take a whole generation of change and all that stuff before this gets better. And it probably started with the whole COVID thing, when everybody just got laid off because they felt like they were unimportant. You know, luckily I was in the restaurant industry and we had to be, you know, we could adapt and do other things, and we still got it done, you know. But all these other places that just are like, nope, you don't mean squat, we're going to cut you. That's where the shift happened, and that's where I've seen it. I have seen it. That was one of the reasons why I wanted to get out of the restaurant industry, because I mean, it did happen to a lot of people in the industry, because especially on the server side, because you know, you couldn't have people open. You could do other forms, you know, takeout and all that stuff, to where you're not low contact and stuff like that. So they were kind of tossed aside. It was nobody's fault, and I know a lot of companies tried and, you know, tried to help them out and bring in and do all these other things, but that's where this mentality is stemmed from. And, you know, the tech industry, that's when the tech boomed, is because there was all this stuff going on. There was more demand of technology because everybody was at home, okay? Needed more support and all this stuff for all these different applications and whatnot. So that's where the boom happened, you know, and people were working from home, so you could easily do that. And now, where everything cleared up, people are going back to work, some of the technologies aren't as highly used, and now we're at that. And so all the layoffs, which again, I understand, but they're going about it the wrong way. They're bringing in all these vendors that aren't helping us as a whole. They're just bringing in, I don't know. I'm gonna stop ranting. I'm getting close, and I'm tired of talking, and I almost have a headache now. Thanks for watching. Sorry for the sunlight in the camera, but like I said, bad hair day. It ain't no big hair, don't care kind of deal. It's just, I'm joking. I just didn't feel like being in front of the camera, mainly because I'm squinting and I can't even see anything. So, again, thanks for watching. The one or two of you that watched, even I doubt anybody's gonna watch until this is gonna be like a 40-minute video. Jeez. I still got like another 20 minutes to go. And I'm not gonna keep on talking. So we're gonna cut it off and be done with it, because like I said, I'm done. So catch me again on the next one. Hopefully I'll be able to leave early so I won't be stuck in such bad traffic. And hope everybody has a great day. You know, throw in the comments if anything's going on in your life. I'd love to hear about it. Maybe see how you're coping with things and how you're dealing with things. We're a community here. Let's stick together.